This is WFYI News Now. It's April 22nd, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, what anti-Trump protesters focused on at a gathering this weekend. Indiana's Attorney General and its Secretary of State are suing the Trump administration over citizenship information. And the public got its final chance to testify before lawmakers on the new state budget.
Aligning taxes on cigars, e-cigarettes, and smokeless tobacco with cigarette taxes will prevent youth initiation, discourage product switching, reduce our overall tobacco use, and generate additional revenue for public health.
Those stories coming up. But first, the Brightwood-Forest Manor Community Center has a new home. The East Side Center is now located in a former church building, our partner Mirror Indy reports. This marks the first time the community center has been housed in a standalone building in its 90-year history, according to the center's director. The center offers a variety of programs, including a summer camp, workforce development services, and a bi-monthly food pantry. A large group of anti-Trump protesters gathered Saturday at the Indiana Statehouse. As WFYI's Ben Thorpe reports, local organizers say this is the 10th protest they've held so far this year.
Protesters filled much of the state capitol's front lawn on a rainy Saturday afternoon. Chanting, holding signs, and listening to guest speakers, members of the crowd said they're worried about a laundry list of issues, from free speech to deportations, arguing the Trump administration is behaving in an unlawful manner.
Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey.
Scott Johnson organized the event with the national group 5051, which is holding protests across the country against the Trump administration.
We're just going to keep raising bigger and bigger crowds until ultimately he has to bend to the will of the people, right? Because a president is not above the law.
Johnson says he's especially worried about efforts to deport immigrants with green cards. Members of the group say another protest is already planned for May. I'm Ben Thorpe.
Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita and Secretary of State Diego Morales are suing the Trump administration over citizenship information. Indiana Public Broadcasting's Brandon Smith reports the lawsuit stems from a request last fall that the federal government verify the citizenship of more than 500,000 voters.
The more than 585,000 registered voters Morales and Rokita first raised questions about in October fall into three categories: those who registered without providing a driver's license number or social security number, registered voters located overseas, and those who registered simply without a driver's license number. Under federal and state law, you can register to vote using a paper form without having a driver's license or social security number. Many of those who did are older Hoosiers, and many voters located overseas are members of the military. Rokita and Morales say they haven't received a response from the federal government, prompting the lawsuit to compel the citizenship verification the Indiana officials have requested. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Brandon Smith at the Statehouse.
And for our final story today, the public got its final chance Monday to testify before lawmakers on the new state budget. After last week's revenue forecast projected $2 billion less in revenue than previously expected, most people asked legislators just to keep their funding steady. David Bottorff represents Indiana counties. Local public health funding was already cut by $50 million a year in previous budget versions, down to $100 million a year. Bottorff says that was a significant cut.
In light of the current environment, be happy to take that $100 million and do what we can with that to the best of our ability.
Others promoted ways to increase state revenue to help offset the need for budget cuts. Tiffany Nichols from the American Lung Association in Indiana advocated a $2 per pack increase in the cigarette tax. She says lawmakers should also put taxes for other tobacco products at the same level as cigarettes.
Aligning taxes on cigars, e-cigarettes, and smokeless tobacco with cigarette taxes will prevent youth initiation, discourage product switching, reduce our overall tobacco use, and generate additional revenue for public health.
Republican budget architects say they hope to release details on the final budget within the next couple of days. That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Daudelin and Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.